Let's transition to the NFL. Let's go to New York and let's talk about the New York Giants and their free agency. It's reports out of New York that Daniel Jones is seeking $45 million annually from the New York Giants. Also, keep in mind the Giants are looking to re-sign Saquon Barkley. So if the Giants don't agree to a new deal with Daniel Jones, reports out of New York is that they will sign Daniel Jones to the franchise tag. If they do agree to a new deal with Daniel Jones between now and tomorrow, they're going to sign Saquon Barkley to the franchise tag. So my immediate reaction when I heard that Daniel Jones is seeking $45 million per year from the Giants is, who the hell does Daniel Jones think he is? Who the hell does Daniel Jones think he is? Listen, I know last year Daniel Jones had his best season of his career under Brian Daboll. Last year, Daniel Jones, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 3,205 passing yards, completing 67% of his passes. That was his best season of his 4-year career. Wow. Is that something that we should be stopping the presses over because Daniel Jones had 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions? Are you kidding me? This is Daniel Jones that we talking about. Earlier, I talked about how I believe that the New Orleans Saints, it's a win-win for the Saints bringing in a quarterback like Derek Carr. And I said that Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, and Dak Prescott are all on the same level. Daniel Jones, he's not even on the same level as Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, or Dak Prescott. Daniel Jones is an average quarterback at best. And now he's seeking $45 million per season? Are you kidding me? Daniel Jones doesn't deserve $45 million per year. He's not that good. Yes, last year, he had a tremendous performance against the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. But remember, the Vikings, they were one of the worst defensive teams in the NFL. Mac Jones on Thanksgiving, he lit up the Minnesota Vikings. Okay? There were Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. They hung 41 on that Minnesota Vikings defense. So Daniel Jones, him having a great performance in the playoffs against the Minnesota Vikings doesn't warrant him to get paid $45 million per year. That's insane. And I know he did improve last year compared to what he did in 2021. Let's look at what he did in 2021 compared to last year, shall we? In 2021, he had 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Last year, he had 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So more touchdowns thrown and less interceptions thrown last year compared to what he did in 2021. In 2021, he had 221 passing yards per game. Last year, he had 200 passing yards per game. Now, Saquon Barkley had a great season as well last year, so that may also play into why his passing yards per game were down last year compared to what they were in 2021. But he had a higher completion percentage as well last year than what he had in 2021. In 2021, he completed 64% of his passes. Last year, he completed 67% of his passes. In 2021, their record was 4-7. Last year, their record was 9-6-1. In 2021, he had 298 rushing yards. Last year, he had 708 rushing yards. 2 touchdowns in 2021, 7 touchdowns last year. So I'll give him credit for improving under Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll did a tremendous job with Daniel Jones last season. I think he got the most he could get out of Daniel Jones. But as great as Daniel Jones was running the football, we all know the number one responsibility as a quarterback is to throw the football down the field. You have to be able to throw the football, period. I don't give a damn how great of a runner you are. Daniel Jones, as good as he is as a runner, he ain't Lamar Jackson. He ain't Jalen Hurts, okay? Again, he can make some plays with his legs, but he's not Lamar and he's not Jalen Hurts. And he's not as good as Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson is. So, do I believe that the Giants can win a Super Bowl with Daniel Jones? That answer is an emphatic hell no. I don't believe Daniel Jones is a quarterback you can win a Super Bowl with. I don't. I think at his best, he's an average quarterback. I think he's on the same level as a Jimmy Garoppolo, a Ryan Tannehill. I'd probably even take Ryan Tannehill over Daniel Jones. Again, he had one great season in 4 seasons. His rookie season was probably his second best season. The man hasn't even thrown 25 touchdown passes. In 4 years, he hasn't even thrown 25 touchdown passes. The most he's had is 24 touchdown passes. That was in his rookie season in 2019. He had 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 3,027 passing yards. You could make an argument that that was his best season, but he had 12 interceptions that year. This past season, he only had 5 interceptions. So I'm not sold on Daniel Jones. And I think it's insane. I think the Giants would be stupid to give Daniel Jones $45 per year. He's not a $45 million per year quarterback. That's not how good he is. Now, if he wanted $20 million per year, maybe even $25 million per year, I would give him that. And again, I don't think he's a franchise quarterback who you can build your team around. And I think when you're giving out money and it's like $40 million range, I believe that I have to be able to depend on you to carry my football team if the other parts around you are not producing. Let me give you an example. Last year, the Kansas City Chiefs, they traded Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. So Tyreek Hill was Patrick Mahomes' number 1 receiver, and all Patrick Mahomes did last year was win an NFL MVP. He won an NFL Super Bowl MVP as well without Tyreek Hill, and the man had receivers like Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman, who wasn't healthy majority of the season, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. That's who Mahomes was throwing the football to, and he was able to lead the Chiefs to the Super Bowl, and they won another Super Bowl because they had Patrick Mahomes. If I'm going to pay you $40 million per year, I need to be able to rely on you when other things around you are not producing. Like, I look at the Giants and their receivers this year. Their receivers aren't very good, but Daniel Jones, again, he had a good season. According to his standards, he had a great season. He had a great season. But when it comes to giving out all this money, I have to know I can depend on you to carry my football team if we have other weaknesses on the team. And I don't believe Daniel Jones can do that. I think if you take Saquon Barkley off this football team, I don't think Daniel Jones would be able to produce the way that he did this previous year. I think Saquon was a very, very, very important factor offensively for the Giants. I think if you don't have Saquon, I don't think Daniel Jones can be as effective without Saquon. I don't. I think he needs Saquon to be effective. And if they franchise Daniel Jones, Saquon might not get paid from the Giants. I hate to say it, he may not get his money. And we know that running backs are expendable in the NFL. And it is just unfortunate because we all know Saquon is better than Daniel Jones is. He's way better. Saquon Barkley is their best player offensively. And it's not even close. Not even close. So if I'm the Giants, there is no way in hell I'm giving Daniel Jones $45 million per year. He can walk as far as I'm concerned. And again, I'm not trying to act like he's a scrub. I think he is average at best. He's average at best. But to get $45 million per year, I need to be able to depend on you to carry my football team. And you need to be the reason why we win games, not be the reason why we win in spite of. Okay? I think Daniel Jones is a quarterback that you win in spite of, not because of. And I think Brian Daboll maximized Daniel Jones' potential last season. I think he reached his ceiling. I don't see him getting any better than what he did last year. I don't. Like, I think there are so many young quarterbacks I'm taking over Daniel Jones. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. Hell, Deshaun Watson, despite him missing a few seasons, I'm still taking Deshaun Watson over Daniel Jones. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Mahomes, we ain't even got to talk about them. But, like, Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins. Hell, give me Jordan Love over Daniel Jones. Nah, I don't know how good Jordan Love is going to be, but I'm just saying I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I really, really don't. Desmond Ridder from the Falcons, the young quarterback, remember he played at UC? He might be better than Daniel Jones. I just don't believe in Daniel Jones. And if somebody wants to get upset, wants to get frustrated, I think I had somebody on one of my videos a few months back when the Giants were in the playoffs, the week where they lost to the Eagles and the division around the playoffs. I think there was a Giants fan on there. He got upset because he said I was disrespecting Daniel Jones. Oh, well, Daniel Jones is not very good to me. He's not. He's not that good. He's not that guy. I'm not giving him $45 million per season if I'm the Giants.